Good Wednesday morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, and welcome. Right now we're at 45, wind chill of about 40 degrees outside as you're waking up. The best we're going to get on a thermometer today is going to be about 52. So chilly it is, but it's nothing compared to what's coming. We've got your complete forecast of what to expect and how cold it, and yes, there is now a little snow in the forecast. Could be some light accumulation on Thursday night. We'll see that as those nighttime hours start to come. All that's on the way this morning as we start this. Are you glad it's hump day? It is finally here. Midweek Christmas is on Sunday. This year has been fabulous, and it's been fast, hasn't it? True indeed, it has. All right, well, let's head out to Collinsville and go to the First Baptist Church there. Of course, Brother Ben's got a message for us. It's about joy today. And no, I know you're thinking that he's just to break into Jeremiah was a bullfrog, but that's not his message today. That's tomorrow. Let's listen to Brother Ben. He's got a great message for us this morning.
Christmas times are coming. Do you have your stocking stocked and your tree trimmed? I love this holiday because every Christmas is an open invitation from God to every person on planet Earth to experience hope, peace, joy, and love through Christ Jesus. We're thinking on these blessings this week, and today we'll focus on joy. The Holy Spirit said in 1 Peter 1:8, though you do not now see Jesus, you believe in Him and rejoice with joy that is inexpressible. You know, while we've never laid eyes on Jesus, each Christmas is a reminder that many did see Him in His first coming. They saw Him as the babe in the manger. After He grew, they saw Him as the teacher and the healer. Toward the end of His ministry, they saw Him as the one dying on the cross, and glory to God, 3 days later, they saw Him as the resurrected one on that first Easter morning. Do you wish that you could have seen Him? Well, even if He's not right here in front of our eyes, we can rejoice with inexpressible joy in Him because He lives to bless us. He's saved our souls, leads our life through the gift of the Holy Spirit, and has given us victory over every one of our enemies, especially the enemy of death. There's great joy in Jesus. And just as people once saw Him, we'll see Him again when He comes again. Words can't express how joyful that joy will be when our faith becomes sight. Merry Christmas. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Always a great message to get you in a good mood to start your day, and I appreciate Brother Ben and all the fine folks there in Collinsville at the First Baptist Church. Drop in and visit with them. I'd love to have you as a guest. As I mentioned, let's go ahead and put this out there before we get into some of the headlines this morning, that chance of snow will come in on Thursday night from 9 p.m. till about, let's say midnight is what the National Weather Service is telling us. Bitter cold weather, if you have not already, today is your last chance really to get it done. If you haven't checked your antifreeze, wrapped your pipes, you're going to have problems coming up. Also, don't forget the Bailey Volunteer Fire Department is going to have that hay out today, helping people out for pets. We certainly hope that you'll take care of your pets. You imagine yourself walking to the car and how bad that will be. I spoke with Britt yesterday, and he was talking about how hard it is on livestock. It is. All these poor animals have got to stay out in it, unlike you and I who can get out of the weather. So keep that in mind. Keep your little furry friends warm at all possible. If you're one of those that has outside pets, if there's any way to lock them in a utility room, put them in a shop, anything to keep them warm, do so. They would appreciate that. All right, let's get things going with a few of the headlines that are coming across the area this morning. We'll post this in just a moment. I did get shots of one place last night. I'm sure there was more, but this is the one that I happened to get as we go to some of the headlines that are happening today. Let me hit this button so we can see this. We did have reports of gunfire last night as we go here. This would be on 20th Street. This area right above the Sammy Davidson complex, and this area right along in here is where we heard gunshots. Now, we don't have anyone injured or any damage whatsoever. That's the good news to that story. I'm sure there were more, but that's all I got. Do you remember a few days ago when we talked about Tires Plus downtown Meridian being broken into? They released a picture to us yesterday afternoon of the suspect. And again, before I show the picture, I've added it to the story and we'll reshare it. It is hard to see. It is dark. The guy's got gloves and he's got a hoodie on, but this is what we got as we pull this up to take a look. Again, this is Tires Plus. This is downtown Meridian, right there before you get to the train station on the right-hand side of the road. This is the culprit right here. Camouflage jacket, we can pretty much tell. Gloves, the whole 9 yard. He's blacked out, so to speak, to where you can't see facial features. That's the picture. They're getting creative, and we'll get more into this morning at 8 o'clock of what criminals are doing and the ways that they do to try to take what's yours. Oh, did I show you? We've been featuring pictures of the area at nighttime. This is one of those as we go back down to downtown Meridian for a look there of how it looks for the holidays. Isn't that pretty? Just absolutely beautiful there. As we'll pull that picture up, make that a little bit bigger. Beautiful. Always looks great there, right there on the corner. Across from the Max is where you'll find that. Hope you get a chance to drive through and look at lights and all that it has to offer. We did share this, if you always wondered, I wonder what that little Santa plane looks like. We got a closer glimpse at this last night as we pull this up. There's the Santa plane getting ready for takeoff at Key Field. If you haven't had a chance to take a look at it, that's what it looks like in person as it flies by and spreads joy throughout the areas of Clark, Lauderdale, even a little Kemper and Neshoba counties. So we do appreciate them for doing that. Let's see, we had a bunch of fender benders yesterday. And keep in mind this morning as you're getting dressed and ready to head out, we still have a lot of slick streets this morning. Can run off the road very easy there. And yes, you're right there about keeping water dripping. As we go right here, here's the scene here. This was down by Kentucky Fried Chicken. Did y'all see this yesterday? Were you in that neighborhood? If you'll look right there in the distance, and I know the windshield is blurry, but power pole leaning. What we had was an 18-wheeler making a right-hand turn near Wendy's there. Knocked the power line down by Burger King, rather. Knocked the power line down and took power out from Burger King all the way back over to McDonald's there at 18th Avenue on Frontage Road. Little mess there for a while. Took a while to get those power lines back up. Glad that they did in the end, but that was the scene there. We did have another wreck yesterday on North Hill Street. This is one of those cars that was smoking, got hit. We do hate that. It happens from time to time. Be careful. You never know what lies ahead for you. There was numerous wrecks like that throughout the area yesterday. I didn't quite get them all. I did have reports of gunfire also, 44th Avenue, as we go here during the daytime hours there. No damage or injury reported with that. That would be north of 8th Street is where that is, if you're wondering. Well, I've seen it before, but not sure where. Also reports on 39th Avenue. As you'll look at that, it's going to be right here. Let's pull this up so you can see this a little bit better. This is the Rose Hill Cemetery as you come down the hill off of 8th Street. Just north of there is where that went on yesterday also. No damage or injury with that as we look across the Meridian area. Now, we also, pretty early on in the morning, we had mention of another wreck that happened coming into Meridian. This is an all too common place, and many of you know this from coming into work, but this was yesterday morning, a little after the morning show there. We had a car flip right there at the split in the curve coming into Meridian off of 59 where it meets 20. Slid sideways and upside down she went. Keep those in thought when they have those accidents. Let's go to Clark County. There seems to be a lot happening in Clark County. What's going on down there? They're wanted. A couple of people. We'll start out with the first one here as we go to Clark County Hot Topics, and we see that Jonathan Mina is wanted for a convicted felon with possession of a firearm. If you happen to know where he might be, well, give the Sheriff's Department a call there at 776-5252. Pretty easy to remember. They'd love to go give him a pickup there for Christmas. We've also got another person that is wanted, Clark County, as we go back down. The Enterprise Police Department looking for this fella here as we pull this up. Deputies are seeking him, wanted for felony fleeing in a motor vehicle. That is, Chief Neese says that they're looking for this young man. Let them know where he might be. They would appreciate this. Joshua Culpepper that they are looking for. Fleeing. Not a good thing to do from the police, especially this time of year, is it? Land you in the slammer quick there. 6:40 already this morning. And Merry Christmas to you, Miss Joyce Gressett. Thank you for wishing that to us. We do appreciate that. Roy Ellis is up. Also, I see Miss Deborah Kimbrell, Lisa Berry, a bunch of y'all stirring today. Today will be a very sad day for the state of Mississippi as our hearts go out to those families affected as the 2 fallen officers will be laid to rest today. They will have a joint funeral. It will happen in Bay St. Louis a little later on today. We certainly hate that. Visitation will begin at 9:30, and the actual funeral will get underway at 12 there in Bay St. Louis. If you're planning to go to that, we have more details on that if you need it. Send us an inbox message, and we'll be glad to pass that information along to you. Families galore affected by that. 3 families in all. How sad it is. You don't think much about this, but after you sit back, it does make you ponder. What about those students that are in college that either have no family, can't afford to go back home, or maybe they're from another country visiting the United States going to school here? Mississippi State doing their best to take care of those and give them foster families during the holidays. Mississippi State, I have to thank them for that. Think about that, being all alone, a college student, and nowhere to go. It would be kind of rough. They'll keep campus open for those to be able to eat and go to places. They say a few of them are also traveling during the holidays, but keep that in mind. It's a lonely time for a lot of people that can't get back to their family. It's heart-touching, isn't it? Jackson, Mississippi, traffic stop. Somebody got pulled over, and what did they find? 68 pounds of meth. Whoa. That's a lot. It's taken off the street, but for every 68 pounds, y'all well know as I do, tons and tons more that escape police that stays on the street. We go to Biloxi for our next headline across the state of Mississippi. An 18-year-old has been arrested. What did he do? Got in an argument, number one. There's nothing wrong with that. We have those occasionally. His problem was, well, he stabbed a man multiple times after the argument. Now, the gentleman's going to recover and get out of the hospital before long, but they did make an arrest of this. And he'll end up facing jail time over this. 18 years old. They identified him as Trent Oates. I don't know what makes people snap and do these things, but he could face a long time in jail. Up to 20 years he'll face for aggravated assault. Doesn't mean he'll spend 20 years. It means he'll face that. All for what? Winning an argument with a knife? Doesn't seem much of a winner to me, does it? You? Thank goodness someone was hurt. Do you remember yesterday when we talked about I-55 Jackson, Mississippi? I'm sure you do. We brought up Kroger, the parking lot there. 2 people were shot. Jackson PD has been on the ball. They've arrested 3 people. I think they were around 20 years old for the shooting, awaiting charges, and they have not released names yet. We'll let you know when that happens. I am actually shocked, and it may be more of this than we know. Sometimes news stories don't make it for whatever reason. No one passes it on to the media as things are kept quiet. But we go to Warren County. And again, I'm shocked that we haven't seen more of this because of, well, the way society is. Pharmacies. They have a lot of drugs inside them, don't they? They got 5 suspects they're looking for in Warren County in the Vicksburg area for breaking into a pharmacy. Truly, I'm shocked that we don't see more and more of that across the state of Mississippi as the way crime is and how people have gotten so dependent upon drugs to make them feel better. Those who can't face reality. That's really what that is. This is, I won't show their picture. I'm sure they've been ridiculed already. Maybe I will at 8 o'clock. Let me think about it. But 6 men is in the jailhouse now. One of them looks a little displaced. Why? Well, they were caught red-handed. And I'm trying to think of the proper words for it. Oh, yeah, they were propositioning ladies of the evening. Ladies that, well, get paid for what they do. I think you remember that from Smokey and the Bandit in the motorhome scene. It was a big sting. 6 people have been arrested, and they've released their names. And, oof, that can't be good at home, can it? Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Now, we want to warn you about this. This not only, we've seen this in Meridian to where people pretend to be broke down. And they ask to use your cell phone, and if you happen to have your banking information, they drain your accounts. Watch all of that. Another one, this is horrible for people that are poor and need assistance, of people scamming them. You've heard of the SNAP program. It's a place where they get it's like a little credit card, and they get to buy groceries on it. And it's happening nationwide where scammers are targeting them and taking the money off of their cards. And when they go to buy their Christmas meal, they have no money to provide for their family on those cards. Think of those, and for all purposes, watch your cards. Don't give those numbers and PIN numbers to anyone. There was a daycare in Jackson that was a sort of kind of maybe accused of a wrongdoing to begin with, of a toddler that seemed intoxicated. Sounds kind of bad, doesn't it? Well, as I've told you often, and I think you know this, the most common of us know this, but there are those that jump to conclusion when they read a story that thought maybe the daycare done something wrong. Well, they've been cleared 100% of this. It turns out a toddler had a thing for hand sanitizer and had, well, several times in his life turned up hand sanitizer and drank it. He seemed a little woozy-headed as he was taken to the hospital. The results had come back initially that he had alcohol in his system. Everybody was staring at the daycare. And, well, that's what it was in the end. Bless his little heart. Now, I don't want anybody that's running low on money to think, well, let me turn to that to drink it. Probably doesn't taste good. Not good for you at all, but that's what happened in that case there. Now, as we get into this holiday season, this will kick off December the 23rd, which is 2 days from now. Today is the 21st. By the way, the shortest day of the year is right now. Home for the Holidays gets underway for the Mississippi Highway Patrol, and what that means is they want you to get home for the holidays. Increased law enforcement will begin from December the 23rd and roll through the 26th. We'll take a pause, and then they will hit it hard again December 30th at 6 p.m. and run to January 2nd for the new year. Again, we want everybody to make it home, don't we? Dangerous out there. Don't drink and drive and all that good stuff. As we look at a few of the headline stories this morning, let's pay close attention to this. This is always, there's bad guys out there. The White House has confirmed that Zelensky is coming from Ukraine for a meeting in Washington. I'm sure it's on high alert as he makes his way there. There's a lot of people that want to harm him, and, well, they don't like the United States much either for helping out there. This is sad. Can you imagine being in jail 25 years of your life? You didn't do the crime. You were sent to jail over a crime that you didn't do. You spent 25 years of your life. He was attending a funeral and was shot and killed. Awful, that is. Life taken away and then his entire life taken. How sad that is. We'll check your forecast next. Again, right now we're sitting at 45, a wind chill of 40. That's going to seem like summertime Friday morning. I promise you. All that's next is we'll check your forecast here in just a moment. Don't rush off.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our communities efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built-in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group.
Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. If you're just tuning in, let's talk weather for a moment. Let's go to radar and take a look at what's happening across the nation as we pull up Meridian Honda radar this morning. And this is what we're showing here. What are all these blue spots? What's happening there? Let's zoom in on this. Let's start in North Mississippi here at the Tennessee line. As we look at this, it's a wind chill warning that is in effect from Corinth, taking in all these locations here across Holly Springs and Olive Branch. Now from Tupelo to Pontotoc down to Calhoun City and Amory in this area, this is a wind chill watch. As you start at Stark, Vegas, Columbus, and you go all the way down to Laurel, Mississippi, taking in all of East Mississippi back over to the state line to Rayville, Louisiana, we're looking at a hard freeze warning in these areas. And as we go further south there to Mississippi Gulf Coast, the Wiggins community is under a hard freeze watch. As you go east, the entire Alabama and Florida coast under that hard freeze watch. We'll see what happens down here on the coast as we look at this. Wind chill advisory as well coming in on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. And I can believe it would be with the way things are. We got a huge cold system that is getting ready to come in and attack us. As we said, we've got snow in the forecast with this. All right, let's get into what the National Weather Service has to tell us.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Those record highs, record lows back in 13. It was a warm day, 79. We'll stay way away from that. 1901, and within a couple of days, we will get close to this. It was 10 degrees 121 years ago today. 10 degrees. It was cold. This is the outlook for today, 52 in the Meridian area as we go northward toward Philadelphia, up 19, 51. As you go further north, up 19, and you follow this up 25, and you get up near the Starkville, Mississippi area, 51. To the south, we'll see 53 in Hattiesburg. As we go east into Bama, 53 there in Livingston and Demopolis, Alabama, and 52 in Auburn, where the Tigers hang out. As we look at this, and again, this is the cold weather that is expected. And let's drill this in everybody's head of what the National Weather Service is telling us. Look at this line right here. This is a significant threat. It's a 1 through 4 scale when it comes to cold weather. We are at a 3, so it means it's pretty bad there. We're being told wind chills of -10 to -1. Now, that's cold. There's no other way to do it. Frostbite, hypothermia is likely if you're out prolonged in this weather. Water mains are going to break. It's going to be horrific for our area, for the plumbers, and, well, you need that water. This starts Thursday night and will run through Saturday night. So you've got just a few hours left on this to take care of everything before this arrives. Today is it. I got a few things to do myself there. Now, as I mentioned, the Meridian area will have a chance of 9 to midnight of some flurries. And there's a possibility a little of this will stick. As we look at the Bama side, this is what they're telling us on Alabama as we look at this. This northern portion, north of Birmingham, is where they're expecting some snow accumulation in those areas. Mississippi has not released a map on that. As soon as they do, we'll share that with you, what they're thinking there in the Jackson area. As we look at this, the Bama side, as we see the wind chill and warnings, cold as we look at that all across Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, and we look at that hard freeze warning there, taking in all of Alabama. So if you live in those Demopolis, Tuscaloosa areas there, Cromwell watching us, be prepared. You're involved in this also. As we look at what's coming, this will warm up. As we get ready for New Year's, you'll be shooting fireworks and warmer weather. Truly, it will be happening. As we look at the forecast for today, the next 7-day outlook brought to you by Wilson. This is your forecast area. 51 today at most, down to 45 tonight. Tomorrow morning, we'll start this out somewhere around 59 to 26. We're going to drop from that to 13 degrees tomorrow night. They're putting a 20% chance. That's up and down. That's averaged out there. 9 to midnight, chance of snow there. We look to Friday. The high will only reach 26, folks. That's cold. So be prepared for that. 15 for a low on Friday night. Saturday, we'll get to the freezing degree mark with the low back down to 16. Now, Sunday, we finally break out of this, and we start seeing temperature above freezing. 38, 45 on Monday, 48 there. But by the time we get over here to New Year's, look at this. 70, 71 for New Year's Day. Can you believe that? Christmas so cold you can't stand it. Next thing we're doing, wearing a Hawaiian flowery shirt. Temperatures, that's the South, and welcome to it. It's going to be drastic changes of weather. What does that really mean? Oh, I think we all know there's going to be a lot of folks with sniffles. You know that. Wash your hands a lot. I don't want you to get sick. Let's look at the fishing forecast for today as we go to Chet's Paint and Body. It's going on right now. Good fishing through 7:30 this morning. You get another chance this afternoon around 2:30 to 4:30. Go out and wet a hook. That wind's going to be east wind 5 to 10. It's an average day is what we're being told. All right, for you deer hunters, let's find out about that. Major time today will be at 11 o'clock this morning, and we'll run through about 1 o'clock. So a lunchtime hunt is the best, is what we're being told here. Your second major time, not really much of it. You've got a minor time there at dark 30, about 10 minutes to 5 till dark 30. Again, that east wind 5 to 10 is what we're looking at there. So as we look at our countdown, how many days do we have left before the year is over? We go to Tate's Fireworks, 11 days left until we hit 2023. Visit them there in Marion. They've got some fireworks for you to celebrate and enjoy yourself. That's a quick look at weather this morning. Tells us where we're going. Candace, getting dressed. She can't wait to get here. She'll be here in, say an hour or so. We'll kick off at 8 o'clock with the latest news and headlines. And don't forget, Scott McQuaig is coming in. He's here to share a Christmas song or two with us today. Got to have some Christmas music, don't you? He'll be here. I want you to be a part of it as well. Right here at Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. There's numerous ways to watch us, and we'll also be on Fox 30. Join us. You'll enjoy yourself as I will. We'll see you soon from the Scotty Ray Report.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: